And good morning from Scotty, Ray, and Candace. It is Thursday morning as we head toward the weekend, and it is so close. And you were just telling me how you were looking forward to this cool Friday night we got coming.
Yes, I am. I'm so ready for some cooler temperatures. And
we're supposed to get 43-ish on Friday night. So if you've thought about building a little fire in the backyard, this is the time for it.
The high Saturday is, the high Friday is supposed to be what?
67, 68.
Okay. Yeah,
May
I'm ready
drop
for it.
cooler.
I'm ready for it.
So that brings to mind Halloween. That's right around the corner. Now, we don't have all the information about the county yet, but we do know a little bit about the city.
Yeah, it's going to start. Trick-or-treaters they're allowing people to trick-or-treat from 4 to 8 p.m. I think usually it ends around 9, but they're going to cut it off at 8 this year. And the mask wearing,
Now, what exactly did they say about the mask?
You have to wear a mask. Even if you have a costume mask, you have to wear a medical type or whatever mask like we've been wearing underneath your costume mask.
Really?
Right. So
who's going to be the Halloween police?
Yeah. So even if it's cold, you'll probably have the air on in the car trying to breathe. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be warm. That'd be rough.
Yeah.
So, but that's the guidelines that the city of Meridian has proposed. Now, that doesn't mean that the county is the same way, but we don't know yet. I got a text out to somebody to find that out.
Yeah, and I think they did ask for people, if you're going to put candy out, to put it in individual bags and set it on a table so people can just come by and they don't have to interact with you and they can just pick it up. So,
I can sort of see that.
Yeah, I can understand that too. So
it's a unique time that we're living in. No one would have ever thought 2020 would be this way. And we're, 19 days away from the election? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, roundabout.
And, of course, we'll get into here in just a moment about the emails that will come out. Always an email, which goes down to this. Never put anything in writing you wouldn't want your mama to read.
Right.
Whoa.
They're still, I guess, drilling Amy Coney Barry.
Yeah.
They're going to be drilling her all day today and yesterday.
Today is it, I think.
Yeah.
Or is today the day they vote on it? It may be today they vote on it.
I don't know. I just knew it was closer to the end of the week. I'm not sure.
I think if somebody told me right, they vote today.
Okay.
And some of the questions, I'm telling you, I have an all new respect for that woman because she's smooth.
Yeah, she is. She's never had a note in front of her
blank piece of paper.
Right.
See, look, I got writing.
Right.
I'm not that smart.
Yeah, she's never had any notes to go by. She just, she has all this stuff in her head. She can quote sections and different laws. She can just throw them out there. And she just.
Well, I did hear this. One of the ones that asked that real oddball question, have you ever pressured anybody for a sexual relationship? No.
Yeah.
And then there was a question of, well, how many people have you taught? 2,000. They said, watch that. Somebody's going to hire somebody to come up and go, oh, she pressured me.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt it. It's just crazy.
That's just speculation.
Yeah.
I don't know that, but that's...
she'll be worn out by the end of this week. By the very end. She'll be wanting a break on the weekend. But I think they're pretty much... don't you think they're going to confirm her?
Oh, yeah, she's done. She's in there.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get some points across at this point.
Yeah, I think she's done pretty good, though, with her answers. I've seen a couple of times where some of the senators have tried to really kind of coerce her into giving them an answer, which would be an opinionated answer,
And one of the questions she was asked, she answered really good because I've even thrown this out there. Let's take, for example, you're Joe Blow and you want to run for president. Well, if you said something out of the way in the 8th grade, it's going to come out.
Yeah.
That makes you go, it ain't really worth it.
Yeah.
They asked her, why do you want to do this? And, and she gave a good response. But the end of it in a shell turned out to be she would be a coward if she didn't step up and take whatever they dished at her to do what was patriotic for the nation.
Right.
And I thought, that was pretty good.
And what I don't understand is all of the judges are supposed to be pretty neutral with the way that they, I guess, call, their call for whatever they're talking about. But yet they want to sway her one way or another.
She's too good. She doesn't get caught.
And they keep saying, Ginsburg was for this and for that. Well, it doesn't matter what you're for if you're not supposed to rule in that direction.
That's right. It's by what the law says.
So I guess what they're saying is the ones who are sitting up there, they rule in one direction or another. That's what they believe.
Does it happen?
Yeah, it obviously happens. So I just feel like they're putting her through the mill because they think she's going to do the same thing.
Hers wasn't near as bad as Brett Kavanaugh.
Oh, I know.
No.
That was horrible.
Woo, boy.
And if you're going to get somebody that's going to fake acting like they were with you, you can at least get somebody that's credible looking, you know. I mean, you know, that's ugly for me to say, I guess, but, you know.
This is little Candace.
I know.
Coming up, we're going to give you a weather forecast, plus we're going to get into some headlines. That's all coming up here in a moment with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. Hang close. Highway 494 will lead you to the front door of Freeman Tractor. If you hadn't been in a while, drop in to see Steve and Keith today. Have a sit at the counter there. Well, okay, maybe only 2 of the seats work. Go by and see them today. They'll make you a deal. If you're needing your lawnmower worked on that you currently have, they can do that, get it all winterized. If you're still needing a mower because it's not over, we're going to have temperatures into the 80s, the grass is still growing, go by and see the Skag. They got some great ones there, different models. That Cheetah is a fast one. They got different series with that. Also, they still have some X marks left. See them. They'll make you a deal this week. And, of course, they've got in that new selection of tractors. If you're looking for cabin air, if you're looking for a specific horsepower to do what you need to do with buckets, four-wheel drives, look at this. They got those. Drop in and see them. Just see how affordable and financing they can help you out with it. And then maybe you've already got your tractor and you need other parts. You're looking for a bat wing, a 5-foot or a 6-foot bush hog. These are galvanized here. Very, very good. It'll last you a long time. Won't rust there. And, of course, they've got all of your disc and they got all your box blades if you're looking for hay forks or if you're looking for just regular forks to be able to pick items up and around the house or the farm. They got those also. Handy, handy, handy. When it comes to UTVs, I got a huge selection of these. This is the Benchy that we've talked about before. 0% financing up to 60 months on this. And what can't you get on this? Air conditioning, you can get a heater for these winter months, windshield wipers, doors, whole thing. And, of course, it's got those 27-inch tires. Comes equipped with a winch as well. Maybe you're looking for a smaller size. They got those as well. That's handy to run back and forth in between hay bales. You can get those in many different colors, dark green, light green. You can even get racing ones. Now, these also come with, you can get them with radios. You can get them with GPS. To know exactly where you are if you do a lot of like forestry stuff and you're off and about. White, see them. They got them. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494. You'll find them again there in Sicalina, just before you get to Collinsville, coming out of Meridian. Good folks. Well, as we turn to our weather forecast this morning, brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Now, keep this in mind. We're going to have some early morning fog as we look at what the National Weather Service is telling us about midway from the county there. If you'll take in Toom-Suba, southward across the county out by the airport, and then all of Clark County and Jasper counties there, south Brookhaven, all these areas are going to have fog this morning. So be careful of that. I've been outside a couple times this morning with my puppy dogs, and, well, it's a little nippier. 54 right now. Expect that always to drop a degree or two before it's all said and done. It starts heating up today. As we look at other things, we're still seeing that this only has a 10% chance of making it into a cyclone. These two over the next 2 days, 0% over the next 5 days. There's a 20% chance of them forming into something. We'll watch that. Nothing to worry about just yet. We're watching, though, those disturbances out there as they could form into something. Most likely not, but they're there. We'll stay on top of it. What happens to the temperatures over the next week or so? Well, as we look at the climate control here, it's showing that it warms up a little bit. So what that's going to do is give us 80-degree weather all of next week. It's going to happen. Hopefully this cold front will come back down and keep us down in those 60s. We'll watch it. As we look at storm predictions for today, these are the areas. And let's flip over to radar now and take a closer look at exactly where these areas are. And we go over here to the radar, and we pull up, and we show here in Texas from San Antonio all the way through Beaumont, Houston, up to Shreveport, Louisiana, there's chance of thunderstorms today. As we go down to the Carolinas, have a little bit, and southern Florida, and a little bit up here in the Dakotas today, have a chance of some thunderstorm activity. Those are the places to watch. Now, as we zoom in this morning, we're sitting now at, let's see here, 53 right now out at Keyfield as we look at 53 degrees up at NAS Meridian, 50 at Columbus Air Force Base, and we'll go over to Jackson. It's sitting at 59 this morning, a little bit warmer there. But that's the outlook of what we got on temperatures this morning. As we turn to our forecast today, to take a look at what's going to be happening. The National Weather Service tells us that today, sunny, 82 for that high. Increasing clouds tonight with a low around 56. Now, we'll start getting winds tonight, gusts of about 20 miles an hour, and that will stay with us through the daytime hours on Friday. Our high tomorrow, again, is only going to be 69, so a cooler day. Tomorrow night will be the coldest that we get of the week, 46. It's great marshmallow bonfire type sitting around the backyard weather for tomorrow night. Enjoy that. As we move into the weekend, a high of 74 on Saturday. That's great. And Sunday brings in a high of 82, a little bit warmer there. So those are the current temperatures and what we've got over the next few days. Something to think on there, because tomorrow is going to be perfect, other than that little gusty weather that we'll have there. We'll watch that closely, though, but enjoy the fall weather. And next week it warms back up again into the 80s. So, well, coming up, we'll talk about headlines. Now, we've got some of those. Candace will be joining me in just a moment here at Scotty's Weather, so stay close.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
And welcome back to Scotty, Ray, and Candace. You know something that I feel is almost like stupid? I was reading a news article, and what's the judge's initials? Amy
Coney Barrett, ACB.
Yeah, and it kept referring to ACB in the news. And I'm going, what is ACB? And then it hit me like 10 seconds later. And I went, ooh.
I can't stand when they use
the
these
AOC.
I know. The ACB is not for AOC. I mean, it's just all this meant. You know, they got all these abbreviations for everything and everybody now. And I can't stand that.
On it.
I know. I'm doing good to look at text messages and figure out what abbreviations are for what, you know.
If I send you a weird one, it's just that, well, I didn't know any better. But as we begin our day, it is Thursday. It looks to be a great day. We're looking forward to that. As we mentioned, Halloween right around the corner. Mm-hmm. As we turn to some of the, and let's go back to this, of the thing that we mentioned yesterday morning with the city councilman. Uh-huh. His name is
Weston Lindeman.
He's on the lam, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Out of town, somewhere hiding, and we'll come back for meetings. Is that what the statement
That's
said?
what I understood, that he would be present for any city council meetings that they called, but that he was in hiding otherwise.
So the saga goes on. We don't know the answers, where it will end up, but as that develops, we'll pass that on to you. That and I'm going to remember his name tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm working on this. 23-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Well, as we turn to headline stories, I know these a little bit. I know a little bit more about these. Remember the guy yesterday we brought up, the mayor?
Yes. Crazy Eyes.
Yeah. Alaska.
Yeah.
He has resigned.
Mm-hmm. What does that tell you?
Sound like something bad went on that you don't want out.
Yeah. It to me, it kind of, I guess it would admit kind of like that you're guilty. I mean,
something went on. He still claims it was only text, but at the end of the day, he did resign.
Yeah.
So I think he remains on the job for another 5 days or something like that, and then somebody else will take over his position, and probably a special election will be held.
Yeah.
That would like we said a minute ago, don't put nothing in writing unless your mama, that'd be embarrassing to your mama.
And you might want to kind of screen the people that you're interested in before you.
Absolutely.
Just make sure they're not crazy ladies or men.
Have you ever, and the picture, you can't really see what I'm fixing to show, but John Lennon, and I knew he had a son, I'd just forgotten about him. He is now speaking out, and what he's speaking out on is the riots. If you'll look at he's put this out there sarcastic. The pyramids of Gaza were made under, what's that word? Coercion? For evil pharaohs who were not very woke. I think we all can agree the pyramids should be torn down immediately. He put that out as a joke because they tore down Lincoln and Roosevelt the other night. So he's not on their side.
Yeah, well, good. I mean, that's...
But, but he's got real long hair, and at first glance, I thought John Lennon has a daughter. And it wasn't. It was a guy. He just has real long hair.
So does he look like his mama?
Yes.
Yoko?
He looks more like Yoko than Daddy. Way different there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, this word woke, I'm so tired of hearing that.
Mean?
What does it even mean? Like, I woke up this morning. I know what woke means in that sense.
But I really don't know much about woke.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm an American.
All these new words.
It is a bunch of new
Talking
words.
about text messages and abbreviations years ago, when the LOL came out, I thought it meant lots of love.
Well, it does make sense.
I didn't know it meant laugh out loud,
Lots of love. And then there's rolling on the floor, and then there's other things that.
Yeah, I don't understand all that.
By the way, I know that one.
Which? By the way?
BTW.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that.
AWOL.
Just put by the way.
Yeah.
You're talking to these old, I'm older.
Do you know that in your phone that you can go in and set your phone up to put those, like if you go to type, by the way, it'll type in BTW for you.
Really?
Yeah, you can set up little codes there for your phone so you don't have to type it out each time.
I've gotten to where I have to read my stuff. If predicted text is on there, I have to read it before I send it because I have sent some crazy stuff.
I am
didn't even
the one
make
that
sense.
sends it and then reads it.
Yeah, you'd think if it's a smartphone, it'd be smart enough to know. They don't even go there.
No, they don't. And I'm pretty sure that these phones, where you can talk in, they don't speak Southern just yet.
Look, they sure don't. And they'll have me saying all kind of, it's crazy. I get so aggravated because it doesn't understand me.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I that, do I have that thick of a Southern accent? I know
Yes,
I am.
you do.
I know I am Southern.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm Southern.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that the rest of the world hadn't caught on to the way we talk.
That's right.
And
Everybody needs to get with the program.
And I am I'm in studies now to learn Louisiana language, the Cajun language. It's thick down there. I got a couple friends that when they get to going, I honestly can't understand them. I was passing through coming back home. I'd been out of town for a couple of weeks, and I was coming back to New Orleans, and it was a local football game. And I have no idea what those people were saying.
Yeah, I have to really listen. We went to a hair show in New Orleans one time, and when we went to eat, our waitress, she came up and wanted to take our order.
Yeah, it's just a certain sound,
Yeah,
and there's
she's like,
nothing
"How you
wrong with
ladies?"
it. It's just they sound a wee bit
Yeah,
different.
I
than we
can't do it, but anyway, yeah.
The Arcadia, is that where it all come from?
I don't know, but then I was in a play one time, and I had to use a New York accent, so I had to kind of practice that. It was fun, though.
I'm gonna have to talk to Miss Gale. When she brought the Chicken Shack, she brought that language to us in Kemper County.
I used to go to the Chicken Shack.
Oh, that was the place back in the day on Highway 45.
Chicken. It was. I got some good deer meat cooking skills from the guy that worked in there too. He would tell us,
Taught you something?
Yeah, I was like, I used to not like deer meat because of the wild taste.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, just soak it in some buttermilk
So you
and
learned
Italian
something.
dressing. Yeah.
Back in the day, Porterville was happening, Woodyard and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Not so much these days.
No.
I guess the biggest thing that's still left in Porterville is the Cowboy Church that you hang left there at the Chicken Shack.
I've never been to it, but I've heard about it. I heard it's really neat.
Yeah.
So-
I've never been either, but I hear it is big. And we bring up this next point because so many people are guilty of doing this. How many times have you been tailgated by somebody that just won't get off the back of you?
Yeah.
Now, I pulled up, before I show the story here, I pulled up to, what is the road where Allen Swamp Road comes out on
Chandler.
Highway 19? Chandler Road,
Is
where
that
it
right?
meets 19. I'm sitting there and this guy goes by pulling a trailer with a freezer in the back. He's running about 90. And when he gets in front of me, the freezer goes up in the air. And
Oh,
it was like it floated for the longest, and I watched it, and then it crashed out.
Oh.
Never tailgate somebody that's pulling something.
Yeah. A friend of mine, this story that you're fixing to talk about, this was a kind of mirror image as to what happened to them. They were going down the interstate and something flew out of the back of a truck and come through the windshield and hit their back seat.
And it can happen at the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And here's the picture of what went on with this that brought this up. This was in Florida, and they were behind a 18-wheeler, and a piece of metal come off the back of the truck and went right through the windshield. That's a F-150. Now, the guy was okay somehow miraculously, but look how close that picture where it come to him. So you never know what's going to fly out of the bed of a truck. It may not be tied down good, but it ain't worth tailgating over.
Right. And I'm going to tell you another thing you got to watch too. When it's foggy,
Slow
you got to
down.
slow down. I have a daughter that years ago, several years back, was going back to college, and it was early in the morning and it was foggy, and she hit 3 horses.
Ooh.
Yes. And that was mild looking right there compared to what her car looked like. Every airbag in her car deployed. She come out of it. The only thing that kept the horse from coming through her windshield was the hood got bumped up to deflect the horse because it went
Really?
all the way over the car, the horse.
Ouch.
It's scary. Y'all be careful.
I've had several friends bump them cows in the middle early morning. You have to watch it.
Yeah,
Out on the rural route, they don't know how to read signs.
Yeah, the windshield cut her knuckles.
She was
come
okay,
in
though.
that much, but yeah, she was okay. That's all that happened. But
Horses weigh a lot.
scary, and nobody was at fault. So
Now, something else that you're going to hear from now for the next 20 days, and probably depending upon who wins the election as to how long you'll hear it after that, but there are emails now that are connecting the dots from Hunter Biden to Daddy Joe to the Ukraine. It was one of the gas officials that thanked Hunter for introducing him to his daddy. Now, from what I understand, and I don't know everything, but just a little bit that I've seen and heard, is that Joe's response to this is, well, I never officially, my books don't show a meeting with these people.
well, if you wanted to hide something, would you document it on the book?
Nope.
No.
That meeting is not on the books. It's never going to be there. So, in some
Right.
sense, he's not lying. He's just probably not saying, hey, we met down at the 7-Eleven.
But to me, a text message is as good.
Yeah, it's the
I
email.
mean,
They got a hardcore email on
email,
this.
not text message, but email. I mean, that would be, to me, just as...
If it were me, I would say Candace used my computer. I had nothing to do with it.
And I would say
didn't know.
Scotty Ray is lying.
But, folks, that's what you're going to hear for the next 20 days. This is going to be pounded upon.
Yeah.
It is the first connection. And there's more coming out on this. We have not heard the last of this and everything that's going to be said about this. So be ready to hear more.
There's no telling what is in the down low,
I don't know. For the last 30 years, if you really knew what went on in Washington, it would make you sick.
Yeah.
And that's why it's been called a swamp, because it's been so corrupt. Both sides, they get on television, in the past up until this president, and I don't like you, I don't do this, and they meet out back and they do the deal together where each one of them make the money. There's no way you can make $100,000 a year and after 10 years be a multimillionaire making that.
Right, unless you were doing something else,
We all know that.
Right.
It's corrupt folks. Used to, back when all that started, you sent a representative and they had to work a regular job, and then they went back up there to represent. I know things change, and you can't you got to have somebody that's dedicated to it now. But times have changed.
I just hope that, I know it's not very long to the election, but I hope if something's going to come out, that it comes on out, because that would be awful to know that if...
There was some real crookedness that went on that somebody won in,
and then they won, and then you let a good... I don't know. Anyway, hopefully...
And I keep hearing, don't always believe what you hear with polls. I keep hearing that time and time again.
I wouldn't believe the polls.
They didn't work last
where are they
time.
getting their numbers? Who knows?
Yeah. One of the things here, and we all know this because we're from small town America right here in Meridian, Mississippi, Butler, Alabama, and Quitman, and Kemper County, and Philadelphia. Do you remember when we all had these manufacturing jobs to where they built shirts, socks, and it was just down the road, or farm implements? It's gone now. Why? NAFTA came along and they took those jobs and gave them to somebody else. Well, Trump made a statement, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that his second term that he's going to make America the superpower manufacturer of the world.
I think it would.
Wouldn't that would be wonderful?
Yes, because look how many of our factories have been closed down and they send everything overseas because they can get it done cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's, and
the quality is not there.
Right.
Used to, when you had that stamp made in America, made in USA, it was the best of the best of the best. And we hope that will come back.
Yes.
Because, a lot of people kept saying on his first run there that, you can't bring back manufacturing jobs. I think he's proved that you can.
Yeah.
He just needs the opportunity now to move forward and do that.
And that would bring back so many jobs to America.
Can you imagine?
Everybody, all these jobs that some people can't even get jobs nowadays,
And then of those jobs, they've cut them back to 30 hours to just where you don't get insurance because they can afford it.
And used to, most of the jobs were in factories. Both of my grandparents worked in the Burnley shirt factory here in Meridian. My grandmother sewed. I'm sure my granddaddy sewed too at some point, but he worked on the sewing machines.
If you have a business coming to Meridian, usually it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm not being our retail, of a store, TGNY, for example, something like that. It's never. We had the Hardy, whatever it was, for a month or so. They packed up.
You're talking about the place out there, the big,
real expensive building.
Yeah.
What do we do with that now?
Hardware.
Handy.
Yeah.
What do we do with that building now? Is it a skating rink or something?
I don't know what it is. I think it's just
Sitting there?
They might use it for something, but I'm not sure. I don't think
glanced
it's,
last time I was on the interstate and saw 2 cars sitting there, so I honestly don't know what they do with it. But that was expensive, and we hope that one day somebody will come in and take over that.
I wish, like up in Kemper, like the coal plant.
Oh, yeah.
Type stuff. I've heard different things that certain parts of it's going to be torn down, and
Because it won't do what they said it would do.
Yeah. So, and I hate that because I mean there was a lot of people who
There was probably
gave their
some-
homes up and family land and stuff like
There
that.
was probably some misguided advice that somebody knew in the beginning that knew it really didn't work, but
Yeah.
hey, I'll make money off of it though.
Yeah.
Can't, that's just thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I do hope though that they can do something with that.
it would be good.
instead of tearing it down or
Turn it into something else.
Yeah.
Maybe so. I know other
Yeah.
countries have looked at it. And we'll end this newscast or what we would call some headline news this morning on a sad note because she was funny. If you'll remember back to 2.5 Men. You remember her?
Yeah, I still see it every now and then in flipping through channels and stuff. I see her. She's always funny.
Now, I've never watched any of them that didn't have Charlie. It just who's that little guy that married Demi Moore? What's his name? Didn't he marry Demi Moore one time when he was 15?
I don't know, but I remember him as Ducky on Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
Do you remember him? Is that who you're talking about? The one that's with Charlie?
Oh, no.
you're talking about Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah,
I'm
Kutcher.
talking about the other one that played the brother or the
The one that
roommate
was
or whatever.
the not real tough.
No, he was
that-
kind of nerdy.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a nice way of putting
But
it.
she's always funny and sarcastic.
Oh, she was.
Real sarcastic,
She gave
you know.
it back to Charlie and was hilarious.
That's sad, though.
She had a heart attack back in, I think it was May, and has pretty much been in the hospital ever since then. And I think her husband was with her when she passed away. So she wasn't, I think she was 77.
Okay, I didn't even realize she was that old.
So farewell to her. She was a great actress.
Yeah.
She played that part.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, I think you'd fit good into a role like that.
Do you? Well, give him a call, Scotty Ray. I need a raise. Give him a call. I need a big old Hollywood job.
I can see you with a chair and a star on the back telling your husband
Yeah.
what to do.
Directing everybody.
Yeah, you'd be
Yeah.
good at it.
I'd be
Any-
telling him to sanitize your hands.
Wash your hands. Are we forgetting anything that's going on today? Anything that's happened that we hadn't brought up yet?
I don't think so. I know that the kids are still doing like virtual learning for the county schools the rest of this week. So,
Okay.
They had fall break Monday and Tuesday, and then yesterday, and then today and tomorrow is virtual learning days. So,
All right, maybe we'll get back to normal one day on all that.
Yeah,
And we'll be
hopefully.
able to go maskless.
yeah,
One day.
that would be great.
Thanks for watching. Coming up, we'll recap your weather, let you know exactly what's going to go on today. That's next. And thanks for spending part of your time with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Well, as we get this day rolling, let's find out about what's going to be going on with our extended forecast as we turn to the back over to radar this morning to take a look at what we've got here. Over the weekend, as we said, great weather. We've got anywhere from 67 to 69 forecasted to end the week tomorrow. Great weather. Over the weekend, 74, 79 on Sunday. And then we get back into the 80s. By Tuesday and Wednesday, we do get a slight chance, and that is a slight chance of rain at 20% on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're hoping, I know I get a lot of comments from deer hunters wanting to know when is it finally going to get some rain to get some of these patches, all the seed worked out. It ain't a whole lot forecasted just yet. We'll watch that 20% chance. We had Sanders Gas on a minute ago. If you're like me, when storms come up and you lose power, you don't like it. You don't want to be, if you remember back when Katrina hit and you went days without power. Talk to Chuck Sanders today. He can show you how affordably you can get a generator, a Generac set up for your home. He'll come out, give you an estimate on it. And I'm getting one put in here at roughly about $6,000. You can have one that will power your whole house, your air conditioners, the whole 9 yards. Talk to Chuck about that. Very low profile. They're not big. They run off propane, tie into your existing line, or you could have one put in. I'll have some pictures of that later on this week. So if you're thinking about that, that would be a way to go where you after about 20 seconds, it'll turn on. Have time to think, it turns on, and then you just don't miss any power at all. You'll be the only one that's cool or warm in the neighborhood. So check that out with Sanders Gas. Save yourself some headache on down the road. Also, one of our sponsors there in Marion, Eastgate Tire. If you hadn't dropped in and seen Matthew, if you need a set of tires for your car, see him. He'll make you a great deal and get you back on the road. Family owned, great folks. I knew it when his dad ran the place. Drop in and see Matthew there in Marion at Eastgate Tire. They'll make you a deal, and you'll be glad you did. Well, today is Thursday as we get things rolling. As always, we'll break in with late-breaking weather in any shape, form, or way. It doesn't look like that's going to be an issue today. Keep you up with all the headlines. Join me and Candace again tomorrow morning. We'll be here to let you know what's going on in and around our community, plus all the headlines that happened throughout the nation, just to keep you up to date. We are a little more than 2 weeks away from the presidential election. That's not long off, so make sure that you're ready to vote. Get out there and make sure you do that. And again, I want to say thank you for watching this morning and being a part of this with Scotty Ray's Weather.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by